About 10 years ago, Malaysia Airlines plane MH370 vanished without a trace. But how could an airliner vanish with 239 people on board? This is its story. March 8, 2014, around 41 minutes past midnight, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 takes off from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, bound for Beijing. And on takeoff, everything seemed normal, with excellent weather conditions and no apparent problems with the aircraft. 38 minutes after takeoff at 1:19 a.m., the pilot sent a message to Malaysian air traffic controllers.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
This would be the last exchange between the plane and the ground. As the plane entered Vietnamese airspace on radar, the pilots gave no sign of life, and at around 1:22 a.m., the Boeing 777 suddenly disappeared from radar screens. It vanished without emitting any warning or distress signal. 239 people, including passengers and crew, were on board. Mainly Chinese and Malaysians, but also a few Americans and 4 French. So what really happened? The first hours following the disappearance of MH370 were chaotic. Control towers panicked and tried to regain contact with the plane, but they failed. At 6:30 in Beijing, just as the plane was due to land, the flight was indicated as delayed on the billboards, with no further details. The investigation began, the media seized on the news, and all hell broke loose.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight has gone missing.
The Malaysia Airlines plane that went missing.
And we begin tonight with Flight 370.
The first lead, a crash in the China Sea. Boats and planes were dispatched to the area but found no evidence of a crash. The second lead, a terrorist attack. 2 Iranians on board the plane, carrying fake passports, alert the investigators. But the hypothesis was quickly put aside, and on March 13th, 5 days after the Boeing's disappearance, the whole thing goes haywire. Media reports revealed that the plane had continued to fly between 5 and 7 hours after disappearing from radar. But what happened during all those hours? And where is the plane? According to the investigation, MH370 turned around and headed west over the Malay Peninsula until it was lost northwest of Penang Island in the Strait of Malacca. Satellite data show that the plane then headed south until 8:19 a.m., the time of the last signal. The hypothesis, the plane flew on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into the Indian Ocean. Based on this information, a gigantic search area of 120,000 square kilometers, 3 times the size of Switzerland, was established. Huge resources were used to find the plane. On July 29, 2015, airplane debris was discovered on a beach in La Réunion. An in-depth investigation concludes that this piece does indeed belong to MH370. Additional debris are later found along various African coasts. A total of $200 million was spent to find the passengers. But unfortunately, after 3 years, the search was suspended for lack of further results. On July 30th, 2018, Malaysia's final investigation report confessed their inability to determine the cause of MH370's disappearance due to the lack of wreckage and black boxes. That's when dozens of contradictory, even conspiracy theories emerge. For example, after the terrorist lead, suspicions turned to the pilot, who may have hijacked the plane to commit suicide. Suspicious trajectories, similar to those of the missing plane, were found in his flight simulator at home. Then, there are those who believe that the plane was shot down because it was carrying highly sensitive cargo, which